Previously on Town Hall 10 Free to Play, we discussed Town Hall 10 Queen walking basics. Today, let's dive into a highly requested witch army. What's going on, guys? My name is Joe. Welcome back for episode 57 of the Town Hall 10 Free to Play series. So let's say that queen walking is not your thing. You just haven't gotten it down yet. You're still struggling with it, but you don't like hog riders either. And the Lalo, you just say, nah, I'm not about that life. That's a little too surgical for me. It's okay. We got one for you today. We're going to take a look at the BoWitch army, a very popular but old army that's still very much around if you can stomach using the Dark Elixir to train it. So let's go ahead and kick this video off with a replay in Clan War. This is more of a Clan War attack. Now, I will do some of these attacks live today, but it's going to take a little while. It takes a while to train, and I'll talk about that here in a minute. Now, this army is very easy when it comes to the actual composition. You got 2 golems, 10 witches, and 10 bowlers, so it's not like you really have to think too much when it comes to the troops and where you got to drop them and stuff like that. But you do need to be aware of your spell management. You got 2 heal spells, 2 rage spells, 1 jump, and 1 freeze spell, so you got to make sure that you plan that correctly. Now, when we're looking at the bases and we're trying to determine like what base is a good base to use witches on, single target Inferno Towers is kind of a dead giveaway. You're just like, man, I can overrun that with the witches and the spam, basically. We have a couple of wizard towers over here on the right side, and this area over here looks really good because there's basically a path that goes directly to a wizard tower, an expo, as well as a single target and the clan castle troops. And just like any other army in Clan War, you do need to worry about clan castle troops. So we're going to start up here in the right side of the base, and we're going to use 2 golems to kick it off. So 1 golem is going to be dropped to block for a witch, and we got another one dropped over here on the right side, and they're basically going to move in and tank for a few minutes, blocking the bomb tower and the cannons. 2 witches are going to be dropped on the outsides to basically do a little bit of clearance here to eliminate some buildings, to make sure that your witches don't go around the outsides, the heroes don't go around the outside. You want them to go into the base following the wall wrecker. Now, we do have a line of witches backing up the golems, as well as a line of bowlers to back them up as well, and they're going to eliminate all these buildings over here on the upper right side of the base. Now, we have the wall wrecker, the king, and the queen dropped, and the placement of this wall wrecker is quite important because we're moving into this compartment. It's going to grant access to this bomb tower, that wizard tower, that expo, and that inferno tower that I mentioned a moment ago, as well as those clan castle troops. So this wall wrecker is targeting the town hall, and it's going to move directly to it. That's why a lot of players don't like these types of bases in Clan War anymore, because it's very easy to negotiate towards a town hall. So we're going to move in there. We got the first rage spell dropped because we want to beef up the power of our troops and get them into the base to eliminate those clan castle troops, as well as the heal spell to heal up the bowlers as they move deeper and finding giant bombs and stuff like that. Now, there's going to be a poison spell and a freeze spell drop. The reason for the poison spell is obviously for the clan castle troops. The freeze spell is dropped to save the Barb King, as well as give this queen some time to move up into that Electro Dragon and Balloon. So we're shutting down that Inferno Tower for a moment and allowing this wall wrecker to move to the town hall's location. So that queen's going to move up in there and start working on that balloon, taking it out, working on the Electro Dragon, and the poison spell is assisting with this as well. Now, that wall wrecker is going to get all the way up into that single target Inferno Tower, take it out, and then you're going to see a rage spell and a heal spell for the bowlers that are going to emerge from that wall wrecker. Then there's going to be a jump spell drop, tying this entire base together and granting access to the back side where we have the wizard tower, the final inferno tower, and the remaining defenses on this side. The bowlers and witches are going to work together very nicely. We got some on the outsides, basically clearing exterior buildings, and we have a queen that is backing them up, eliminating buildings that are being blocked by the golem, now golemites, down here in the bottom side. Bowlers are going to eliminate, looks like, 1 more hidden Tesla, and all we have left is a wizard tower. Now, the wizard tower is a bit of a danger to witches because it eliminates packs of troops or the spawn troops from the witch, but they will be able to overpower it, and this is why a lot of players like this army so much, because it's a very simple army to put into action. You don't really have to work very hard, but you also have to make sure that you place your spells in the right areas to basically either speed the troops up and get them through the attack, get them into the clan castle castle troops or get them to the back side of the base using that jump spell. This is going to be your army right here. We're going to do some live today. If my army is finished training, I'll talk about how much it costs here in a second. All right, so we do have this army trained up. I'm going to go out and do one live for you and test our logic, if you will. Now, one thing I wanted to point out about this army is it did take about 50 minutes without a training potion to train this army, so you need to be aware of that. It takes a little while if you don't have those training boosts or you're not willing to spend any gems to boost your barracks. Now, also, when it comes to cost, it's going to cost about 3,550 dark elixir to train up this army. So for some of you, that might be a little too expensive. For me, who farms dark elixir a lot anyways, it's really not that big of a deal because that's like one raid and you should be good to go. Now, also, if you cannot get the wall wrecker or the siege machines, make sure that you check out episode 23, and I'll link that one down in the description below for you. We did present this army in that video without siege machines. Alrighty then, so let's go ahead and do one of these attacks live. That way we can show you an example outside of clan war, and this base right here is a little symmetrical, so it looks out, you know, it worked out really well. So let's go ahead and start out with our logic, which was what, 2 golems. So let's start with those 2 golems. Let's drop a witch over here and a witch over here to start clearing out some buildings. And then we're going to follow it up with that line of witches that we talked about a moment ago. So that witch is clearing out some buildings, looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and drop our line of witches. Now, I am missing my Barb King. He still has a day of upgrade. And remember, we're going directly into the center of this base. So let's go ahead and drop our wall wrecker and our queen. And let's go ahead and pre-place a heal spell for our bowlers and stuff that are about to jump into a couple of giant bombs. Let's drop a rage spell. And it looks like we do have a single target. Let's go ahead and freeze that single target and that queen. That way the wall wrecker opens up the center of this base. Looks like everything's starting to catch up. Let's drop that rage spell, that heal spell, and the jump spell to tie the back end of this base. That way the bowlers keep moving on through. And we got bowlers and witches on both sides of the base, looking pretty good so far. Bowlers are getting a really nice balance. Now, this is a very common base design, so naturally we should be quite successful. But some of you might be seeing some of these in your clan war. Some of you might not, because these bases, again, are a little bit older, and a lot of players don't run those centralized place town halls anymore because of these types of armies. These witch armies walk through bases like this. I really think this is why they became so popular. Bowlers and witches are successful on the left side, and they're going to work their way up towards the top side. There was no clan castle troops in this replay, but we did have the poison spell just in case we had an electro dragon emerge from that clan castle. Looks like they did miss a bomb tower right here, but it's not a big deal. The archer queen is still in the mix, so let's go ahead and use her ability and speed this attack up. Now, I did do a couple of other attacks prior to this one to kind of practice with it and try it on different bases, and I want to show you a fail and what went wrong with the attack, because you know how I am. I just can't go off and say that this is a great army and it's going to 3-star every single base. Come on now. Next up, let's take a look at a fail. Sometimes you will fail attacks, and bases like this, when there's just all these different buildings on the outsides or different variations where there's compartments here and openings here, your troops will spread out all over the place. And one of the things about this army is it works really well when your troops stay online with one another. And so when I was looking at this base, I was like, man, this is looking pretty good. We got a multi-target, we got a single target, we got a clan castle in the center. We should be able to get our troops in here. Now, the big concern here was the bomb towers. You got both of the bomb towers right here, and I'm going to tell you right now, bomb towers versus bowlers is not good, even with a heal spell. It just doesn't work out. So let's go ahead and see how this kicks off. We're going to start out with our 2 golems, you know, the same pattern that we've been doing throughout this video, dropping a witch on one side and a witch on the other, and then we're going to kind of spread out some witches across the top as well as our bowlers. Probably should have started out with the wall wrecker to tank instead, but you know, it's just kind of running through the placement that we saw in the first replay, which is something that a lot of you guys out there are going to do as well. Now, we dropped that rage spell, and the wall wrecker will crack through, but the bowlers are going to stay on the outside. Remember, there's distractions on both the left and the right. So we drop a heal spell on the right to try to help these bowlers out a little bit, but you see how they're going to get distracted and keep going around to the right side, and we get all the way to the core, destroying one bomb tower. We got a skeleton trap down there, single target targeting our golem, which is going to die very fast, and the archer queen's trying to play catch up. Pre-placed the rage spell and the heal spell a little early, but I think that might have been a bad thing. The bowlers are going to run up in there and take on the archer queen, find a giant bomb, and lose very fast. And a little slow on the drop of the jump spell as well, and it was just one of those things. So you need to be aware of stuff like this. I don't want to show all 3-star attacks all the time and think or make you think that you're going to be successful every single time, because you need to practice this stuff and understand the capabilities and the cons of using armies like this. And this is just one of those situations where it just did not work out. So that is going to be a fail at about 69 or 70%. Let's go ahead and walk away from that one, and I'm going to do one more live for you today, and that way you can walk away feeling that you understand this army very well. And I do believe that this is going to be the final attack for today's video. Now, I got to try to recoup some of the Dark Elixir that I spent in this video. There's 8,000 Dark Elixir. I couldn't help myself, guys. I know that there's no Inferno Towers, but I'm going to hit this base with this army to try to recoup a little bit. Now, we're going to start out with a similar logic as the previous 2 raids or whatever. So we're going to drop our Golem and our 1 Witch, and let's drop our Golem and our 1 Witch over here. And we're going to drop our Wall Wrecker this time around to start us out. So let's go ahead and drop our Wall Wrecker right there. And let's go ahead and place that line of witches to back it up, as well as that line of bowlers and our Archer Queen. Now, we're going into this base and just basically targeting the Archer Queen in the beginning. Hopefully that bomb tower drops on the other side. Let's drop a heal spell. Let's drop a rage spell right here. Beef up the power of our troops and get them into the base. Looks like the Wall Wreckers right on target, going straight towards that town hall. And we are gonna drop our rage spell and another heal spell here. And let's go ahead and link the base together with a jump spell. Looks like bowlers are on the outside with some witches dealing with some archer towers and giant bomb. Oh my goodness, double giant bomb placement over here has wiped out a bulk of our bowlers. So that is not cool, man. Not cool at all, man. All right, so Archer Queen is caught up on a wall. Let's go ahead and freeze this hidden Tesla for a second. The witches are taking a beating on that left side from a wizard tower, which is never good for witches. Queen is still stuck on that wall, and the freeze spell effects did run out. So that is very unfortunate. We did lose that queen, but giant bombs, again, you do have to worry about giant bombs when it comes to this army. And looks like we will walk away with a bulk of the Dark Elixir off of this base. There's one more drill up here, and we have a large group of bowlers and witches that are coming around. Those skeletons are proving as a very nice distraction for our bowlers. While the bowlers were able to eliminate that double cannon there, witches are stuck on a wall, which is not a bad thing. Getting a double bounce from our bowlers, eliminating that drill and that hidden Tesla, very nice. So even though we did lose a large group right here from this double giant bomb placement, we should be successful with the 3-star, even with the Inferno Towers not being available on this base. So again, symmetrical bases is definitely the ones that you want to target with this army. You do need to practice with it and get the timing down. Every base is going to be different, so the things in this video that you saw are more examples and not necessarily a set standard. You have to be able to understand when to apply this army and when not to apply this army, because even though it is very easy to apply, it also has some serious limitations and really no back-end cleaning troops like the balloons or the hogs, and it's just something to take into consideration since you haven't really picked up those types of armies. If you enjoyed our content today, make sure you leave a like on the video and subscribe if you have not done so already. And if you like watching us every single day, turn on those notifications. If you want to see the Town Hall 10 free-to-play series from the very beginning, click one of those links over there, and we will see you in the next one, guys. Take care.